Making sure I'm live. Give me a second. Normally I start on the starting soon screen, but I'm just going in right now. There's a 30-second delay, so I'm just waiting. You gonna show me? Ah, there it is. Alright, now we're live. I'm playing Monster Hunter music. So, this video, I'm going to make sure it's low enough for you so it's not overpowering, because Monster Hunter music can get a little intense. If it sounds a little bit low on my end, it's because the microphone is right here instead of right here, but I'll try to speak close so you can hear me. But I'm going to be painting some figures and talking about private servers. I don't expect to get a lot of views, but I don't care. I'm just bored. So, this is what I'm painting. It's a wolf riding orc, and I'm still debating on what I'm gonna paint the wolf, if I want to go like black or like a timber wolf or something. I'm not gonna go white because I bought this, which is a snow texture paint, and that's what I'm gonna use on the base. The orc, I've already determined I'm gonna be painting him Magar, so he's gonna be a Magar. I need to get my paints out. Got all my stuff here, I just gotta get what paint colors I want. But, let's see. Let me get my Discord page, put it over here, open up my list. Alright, now I can see all the different private servers, so we can go down and talk about them all. Alright, so let's start with Azeroth at War. So Azeroth at War. Where's my browns? I think this is it. Yeah, this is a really good brown for Magar skin. It's a moccasin. So Azeroth at War is in their they're in their beta right now. But the thing is that the beta, something went wrong with it, and a lot of stuff didn't get transferred over from the developer server to the beta server. So is he wearing a loincloth or has he got pants? I think he's got a loincloth on. So a lot of stuff didn't get transferred over, and unfortunately that meant a lot of quests are missing. It doesn't look like they're going to be adding them into the beta right now. So, it doesn't look like they're going to be shutting it down, transferring everything over, and then turning it back on. So all those missing quests are going to stay missing, which is unfortunate. Another thing that a lot of people seem to be talking about... Well, first of all, where's my silver? Oh, here it is. Something that people have been talking about is the fact that they don't like how you can boost right away. The last beta that they did, they played it normally first, and then towards the end, they allowed everybody to, that's a yellow. They allowed everybody to boost. And that's not what they're doing this time around. So, a lot of people think that... Yeah, that'll work. A lot of people think that, it's taking out the fun because everyone's on different levels. Everyone's just boosting level 60, while other people are trying to actually, like, level and play the game. Which, I mean, that's all fair. I think the last time, you know, everyone's starting off at the same level, and then later on you got the boost. I thought that was okay. Because I do now see what they're talking about. I do like the the starting zones for the new races. I'm gonna start with this. I'll start with this and I'll get more paint as I need it. I do see what people are talking about, though, with, I already said that, right? Yeah. Hang on, I'm just kind of distracted. Oh, I forgot to fill this. Hang on, I can fill it with this before I... Yeah, I just need a little bit. I'm gonna skip Xenojiva's music. I don't care for it much. Alright, let's water down this paint. What was I gonna say? The starting zones, I like them, but I do have some criticisms with a couple of them. And some of them are small criticisms. Like, the Furbolg one, I like. I just think there should be some more armor. And just a couple of other nitpicks, like, atmospheric-wise. But when it comes to, like, the, to the other guys, like the Naga, I thought it had a great, strong start, but it really dwindled toward the end. And it almost became a little bit boring at the end. But I think there are ways to fix it. I'm gonna make a whole video about that. I'm gonna get this first layer of brown paint in, and then I'll do a second layer. I'm going in a little bit messy right now because I don't care if I hit the armor. I'll just paint over the brown when I get to the armor. Alright, so let's see. What else do we talk about for Azeroth at War? Let's see. Azeroth at War... I believe the beta is going to be going on for a couple more weeks. Other than that, I'm not really sure what other news we have. They're just kind of focused on fixing bugs and stuff, which is what they're supposed to be doing. So, let's see. We've got, okay, the next one is World of RuneScape. So, World of RuneScape, it's getting ready to go into a closed beta. I am in the closed beta, but it is not open yet, so I won't be able to talk about it at that moment, though, because he wants it to remain closed. So not a lot of, he doesn't want a lot of people talking about it when it's in closed beta just yet. Because it's not really in a state that's ready to be played. He just wants to see how is everything so far before he continues on. So that's fair enough. Alright, I'm gonna let that dry for a minute before I give it more coats. So I'm actually really excited for World of RuneScape. That's gonna be fun. He did merge with... what's it called? Ascension. So, you will have to install Ascension. Now, Ascension, what they plan on doing, from what I've seen the head developer talk about, is... I need to get a little desk fan so it dries faster. They want to make it so... That's the best way to describe it. They want to make it so the Ascension client is almost like a Steam page, where you would have multiple servers to choose from the Ascension launcher itself. I'm gonna start on the wolf. I think I'm gonna go with like a gray-brown timber wolf kind of look. I'll start with this darker gray first as the base, and then I'll go a little bit lighter as I go down. let me pull the wolf over here while the orc is drying. Let's see, what's next? Project Epoch. I still have not gone through their developmental update. I need to do that. I've just been busy with the other servers. But, I don't think they've announced yet a launch date. They're still working out all the issues from the last beta that they hosted. I think they need to do a beta 3.2, like how they did 2.2. Like they did like another second beta, but it was like a part 2 to the second beta. I think that's what they need to do with their third beta, and have like a one last quickie beta to make sure all the issues that were reported did indeed get fixed, or if any new ones propped up at the same time. Because even though the first 2 original betas were really good, this last one, it just had a lot of issues. I never saw it that bad before. Trying to get into all the little nooks and crannies here. Let's see. I don't think I have anything else to talk about with Project Epoch. It's still a wait and see game to see if they're going to be releasing at the end of this year or not, because that was the original plan, but they've been majorly delayed because of all the issues that cropped up in the last beta. Alright, so the next one on my little list here is Revelation WoW. It's still in closed beta, but they want to open it up soon. I was working on zone previews. I've released a couple already. I had recordings of Stormwind and Orgrimmar, and both of them disappeared. I have no idea what the fuck happened to those recordings. So I'm gonna have to re-record them, which sucks because those took the longest time to record because those areas are just so massive. Orgrimmar is just huge, and fucking Stormwind, I would say, like, a criticism I have of those two cities in the design flow is that there needs to be more shortcuts so you can cross over and get to this area faster and vice versa, because like, if you want to get somewhere, but you're in this other spot of the city, like, you have to go all the way around, and it takes fucking forever, and I don't like that. Let's see, what else? It's still capped at level 20, but they did say they are real soon here going to be increasing it to, I think it's level 40, which, I need to level up my Warden still. I'm gonna leave the tail for right now, because, he's still level 18. I just haven't gotten around to leveling him, because I've been doing all the exploration, mostly on my Hunter, but I did a little bit on the Worgen, too. I love this song. Let's see, is the orc dry? He's still a little bit wet. He needs another minute or two. Let's see, what else with Revelation WoW? Let's see. I still have not been to Stranglethorn Vale. That was the one zone that I was the most hyped to see, and I haven't seen it yet. So I want to go and see. I want to go and see Stranglethorn really bad. So probably that's gonna be one of my next videos if I don't do Orgrimmar and Stormwind first. I'm just really dreading on re-recording that because that took so fucking long last time. But a lot of zones were not really massively changed. So, just like on my last video where I combined, like, 3 zones into one video, I might just keep doing that so I can get them all done out of the way real quick. I'm not looking forward to a couple of the zones coming up though, because there are enemies that are high enough level that they will kick my ass. But man, is this thinned enough? I think it'll be okay. Yeah, it'll be fine. So, it's gonna be really hard to record because just everything is gonna want to eat me. So that's kind of one of the reasons why I'm a little bit slow with uploading the discovery videos of Revelation WoW. But I might just say fuck it and quickly go to the higher level areas, because a lot of the higher level areas, like Burning Steps, they have no enemies in them right now. So it might be the best time to go and film in them before enemies are added. The only thing is, I don't know if they're going to be changed. If they're going to be changed afterwards. It's like, well, shit, am I going to go through all that work to record it, and then the zone changes, so that way my video is going to be obsolete? Might just have to go ahead and do it. Say fuck it. Let's see. Revelation WoW. Oh, another thing is with Revelation WoW is I am kind of disappointed at the lack of what's the term for it? Custom quests. I was kind of hoping that there are custom quests, but I felt like there should have been more, especially considering that they're changing the lore and, like, you know, all the zones are all fuckety, and it's like, well, why are they like that? Because apparently there is a lore reason that they created that the zones are all fuckety like that. They gave us kind of like a little hint during one of their Q&As, but, they didn't really go into it saying like, oh, you'll find out, no spoilers. Okay, well, what is it? Because your server is not telling us anything. It's my wolf so far. Just the first base coat. There's the orc, same thing, just the first base coat of the Magar skin. I think that's good on the first coat. The wolf needs, oops, that's a hair. Needs to dry a little longer, and then I'll hit it again. Alright, let me mouse over. Let's see what else we got. Turtle WoW! I don't think we've heard anything since the, I don't think we've heard anything since they did their whole, Unreal Engine 5 showcase. They did the, big Q&A. Then they had that, controversy with, people leaking out the DMs and all this stuff. So we haven't heard anything from them since then. Wallcraft, I kind of slowed down on my coverage of. I need to get back on Wallcraft. I know he's in beta right now, and supposedly by the end of this year he's supposed to launch. I just don't know what's been added or what's been finished. I know a lot of stuff that he's been adding, I just don't know what the progress is. Duskhaven, still no updates. They are in a closed beta, I believe, because some people are getting in, but this closed beta is like, there's almost nothing in it from what I've heard. It's just mostly like testing mechanics, but not testing out any of the new custom stuff, so man. I thought I had enough, but I didn't. Yeah, drop, drip, drip. Here we go. Let's see, what else we got? I have Felmist here. Not much to talk about that. Oh, Prophecy. So, I can finally talk about the news. I've known about this for a while, but they told me to not talk about it just yet until it went public. Well, it just went public, so now I can talk about it. They are merging with Epsilon WoW, so kind of like how World of RuneScape is going to be doing with Ascension WoW, they're going to make it so you can play their game, but they're going to be getting a lot of help from Epsilon WoW to develop it, and then from there, you're going to have to... I can't really get into the wolf's mouth. I don't want it to be white. I'll try to get in there with a skinny brush. So you're going to have to download Epsilon in order to get to it. They don't know how you're going to get to it yet, like if it's going to be just a phase in the Epsilon server, or if it's going to be a completely different thing that you like click to switch over, or what. So that's still up in the air, but all I know is now they can get developmental tools to actually finish the damn server, because it's been in development for fucking years now. Though they got I was told by like the head developer that they got held back at one point because like one of the people that were working on it originally, they like something happened and they sabotaged it, so like all the work went down the toilet, which sucks. So that's one of the reasons why it's taking so long, but at least they got a good amount of work done now. Okay, Wolf's got his second coat. Prophecy, I am actually kind of curious to see how it's going to function, because it's supposed to function like a Dungeons and Dragons server. Now, one of my things was, I was asking them if it's all going to be DM ran, because in that point, it's like, well, what if I'm online, I don't have any friends, and I just kind of want to go and explore and adventure, right? It's like, well, no, a lot of this is going to be built in mechanically to the game. So you're still going to be able to play it, and it'll be mechanically within the game to dice roll and all this kind of stuff when you encounter creatures. So it's still going to be there and on rails. Well, not on rails, automated rather. But big events are going to be DM oriented, so it's going to be with other people's in an actual DM rather than just a robot or a automated system. Let's see, what's the next one on my list? Got Endless, I got Koromi Craft, I don't really play those. Mondwow, Ascension, I don't really play Ascension. Shinobi Story, so if anyone watched my last video, unfortunately, Shinobi Story got canceled. Not canceled, it got shut down. So, that's my little orky, he's still drying. So yeah, I really liked Shinobi Story. I was just waiting for it to develop a little bit more, because it's been in the same, like, beta for years. But now that it's shut down, and we're not going to be able to see it fully realized, and that's kind of sucky. I think I should have used a different wash. I'm using a wash now on the orc, but it's a little too much. Normally on the other guys it worked great, but this one's not working out as I wanted it to. Now he's gonna look like a Dragon Maul orc. Let's see if I can dab it. Actually, that kind of worked, but unfortunately I didn't wait long enough, so it wiped off some of the paint. Now I can see the primer. So I'm gonna have to do that again. That's unfortunate. Actually, yeah, the black wash actually looks really good. It's just I didn't wait long enough, so it's wiping off all the paint so you can see the primer. Uh-oh, something snapped. What snapped? What is that? Something on the orc snapped, but I can't see where it snaps from. It's like a little spike. Oh, I see. It's part of his beard. I might be able to fix that. Alright, let's do this again. This will turn out fine. It's actually, the paint is thin enough that it's leaving some of the wash, so you can still see, like, the highlights, and it actually looks kind of cool. And where it rubbed off, it just makes it look lighter, so it looks, again, like, highlighted. So it'll still turn out okay. Let me get his, legs. I forgot his legs. Alright, next server. We talked about Shinobi's story. Hour of Twilight. They did a beta not too long ago. I didn't play that one. I played the one before it, though. And that one... Oops. Little piece here I missed. Alright. Just let them dry. They'll still turn out good. So I haven't played, I didn't play the last beta of Hour of Twilight. I played the like the first few, and it was okay, but it's not my favorite style of server, so I don't expect to, play it anymore. Haven't played old school WoW. I don't even know why I'm on their Discord. Anarchy, we're still waiting to see if they're actually going to launch or not, because they like put it on hold, but we haven't heard anything since then. There's Orky. So he'll be fine. Bum bum ba da dum. I'm gonna skip that song. Oh, that's the 3-hour mix. I want to... So I did a base coat of gray on the wolf. I kind of want to do browns on his, like, belly and underside with a little bit of cream. And then I want to do a little bit of black up top. So I want to use a different brown from the one I was using for the Magar. kind of like that. I like that. I'm gonna go up a little bit because when he's on the thing, you're not really gonna see the brown. So I'm gonna go up his belly a little bit. Go up the mane a tiny bit, like up here. But you know what? I could do it a little bit on his face. Kind of get like a German Shepherd thing going on. There we go, and then I'll put black over top of that. Man, I already went through my list of private servers. There's not really a lot of news going on right now. Let's see, is Orky dry? Yeah, kind of. Oh, yeah, he's got a couple of spots that's still wet. So I don't want to start painting the rest of it because it'll just get washed over again when I do the brown. Let me get the cream ready, because I want to do a little bit of cream. The cream, and I'll mix that with the brown to make it light brown. Yeah, like that. Kind of dabbing it so it kind of... it's not uniform because it's supposed to be fur. I should probably do his tail. I haven't done his tail yet, so I'm getting ahead of myself. I really like this song. I'm kind of sad that they took it out of the game. They like changed it to a different one, but I like this one better. Let that dry. I hit this little spot right here on your back. Now what I want to do is kind of give like once that's dry right there, I'm gonna do a little dry brush of the cream to kind of highlight a little bit. Mix the cream with the brown again, but it needs to be that moccasin brown. There you go, now it's like a really light brown. What monster song was this? I don't remember. Oh, it's a Cantor, duh. I know a Cantor. Let me give the tip of his tail the same brown. Let me take that cream. This is a Shengaren's theme, I think. I like Shengaren. He's cool. Nice. Let's see. Since we already talked about all the private servers, because there's not a lot of news out right now, what else could we talk about? Let's see, Azeroth at War, World of RuneScape, Project Epoch. I was playing Stormforged a couple days ago, and I started doing the, I think you're good now. I was starting to do the 5.4 stuff. So I was like, okay, well, I need to... I still need to finish Throne of Thunder and stuff, so I joined an LFR. And unfortunately, like, of course, when I joined the LFR, for some reason, my latency went all fuckety. Like, I went from running no problem to suddenly my latency was like 3,000. Like, everything else in the world around me was moving okay, but none of my inputs were working. So, like, nothing that I did went to the server side, but server side was coming back to me no problem. It was really weird. But that meant I couldn't do anything. And eventually they kicked me out of the raiding group for being AFK. I'm like, I'm not AFK, I'm just lagging. So I didn't get to finish the raid, unfortunately. I did get one piece of gear, which was nice. But I need to really get my legendary cloak. But the thing is, I'm still stuck on that part where you have to get like 3,000 valor points or whatever it is, and I'm at like 2,000 and something. Okay, now I need a little bit of black. I'm gonna mix that with the brown, just a tiny bit. I joined a like one of those coin farming groups, thinking like, oh, okay, this will be a great way to get some of the timeless coins. I can get it real quick and then just get a full set of gear. Everyone was of course needing on gear that they don't actually need. So I was watching his priest got plate gear. I'm like, what the fuck? And I even asked him, I said, hey, can I have that? I actually need it. and you're a priest or a hunter or whatever, you don't need plate gear. They didn't even respond, they just took it and ran. I'm like, motherfucker. But anyway, by the time I left to go to work, I was like, okay, I got like what was it? I have like 12,000 coins. That'll probably be enough to get me a full set of gear, right? Nope. Apparently a full set of gear is going to be a lot more than that because, like, it's like a couple thousand per token to get a piece of gear. I was like, god damn. So I'm going to have to do another one of those coin farming groups. Wolf is turning out really good. I'm going to leave him like that for a minute, let him dry. So let's do the orc again. So now his skin is done, I just need to do his armor. Oh, I didn't do his hands. God damn it. I thought he was wearing gloves, he's not. Well, I guess I'll do his hands real quick. Okay, that's good. They do need a second coat, but they might have to wait till they dry. Yeah, I need to get back on Stormforge and keep playing. I really want to play Turtle WoW with my friends again. I need to find a date where we can all play Turtle WoW, and then I want to stream it because apparently a lot of people really liked watching us stream Turtle WoW. What color should I do? Let's see, the saddle. Here, let me wash the dog first. Where's the black wash? I'm gonna wash the dog first, and then I'm going to dry brush. I'll dry brush with probably a light gray. Wait, not that one. Give me this. Let me water down that wash a little bit because it was a little too intense when I used it last. That's looking a lot better. So eventually, when I'm done with Mistblade, Stormforge rather, and I finish up Mist of Pandaria, I want to try to do other expansions that I haven't played in a while. I mean, I just recently did... I recently did Wrath of the Lich King on Classic, so I don't think I want to do Wrath. I might, though. I might try Warmane or something. But I was thinking of fucking... What's the right terminology for this? Just eating it and trying a Legion server, because God knows I hate that expansion, but it might be good to replay it, get it fresh on the mind again, and then make a video of why I hate it. Because I already know why I hate it, but maybe maybe replaying it will, like, I don't know, kindle something in me, or I don't know. I'm basically, what I'm saying is I'm willing to give Legion a second chance, but I am not going to be hopeful for it to, like, change my mind on anything. Like, I say, like, there are good things about Legion. It's not like a total failure, but there's a lot of things about it that I really don't like. Like, okay, I'm gonna go on my Legion rant here that I could probably clip out for YouTube later. I already have a clip like this from a hardcore mode challenge Turtle WoW stream I did years ago, but I'm gonna do it again. So, why I hate Legion. Let's see. So, in expansions, especially if they're heavily story involved, there's always, you know, the individual stories, like the individual quests, individual zone stories, character stories, and then there's the overall story. Legion is one of those expansions where I thought the overall story was good. It was okay, but I hated the individual stories. Now, there's a couple of them that I liked. I liked Suramar. Suramar was good. Oh my god, this is so dramatic. Hang on. That's way too dramatic for talking about Legion. I'm not that much of a doomer. Anyway, so I liked Suramar. What else? I kind of liked the High Mountain stuff. It was okay. I liked High Mountain. I did not really care for Azura, or Zuna, or whatever it's called, Zuna. And I absolutely fucking hate Val'sharah. I dread every time I had to go there. I hated that storyline so much. Tyrande, I need you. Anyway, so I hate the individual stories with the exception of a couple, right? Order halls. I hate the order halls. There's no reason for them to be there other than to be like, oh, look at this awesome place that you can go to as this class. Well, first of all, we already had a couple of those in Vanilla, which we could not go back to in Legion. Why couldn't Druids keep Moonglade? Why couldn't Rogues keep the Syndicate Hall? Or not Syndicate Hall, what's the other one? Ravenhold. Why couldn't they keep Ravenhold? There could have been a ton of places out in the world. That's one of the reasons why expansions are just trashing World of Warcraft, is because they lost the world aspect of the World of Warcraft. So why couldn't we have all these places? You have your teleports and whatever, so it's quick to and from. Like, the pandas, or not I said pandas, but the monks got to go back to the Wandering Isle. It's like, okay, cool, that's technically out in the world, even though it's not in the world, it's instanced, but it's still not in the Broken Isles. Which, by the way, the Broken Isles should not even be there. They should not exist. It was all wiped out in the Sundering. The Broken Isles, as we saw in Warcraft, are literally broken chunks of islands with the Tomb of Sargeras on one of the bigger islands, and all that's there are ruins and Naga. That's it. This whole continent that suddenly everybody knows about, that did not exist until that expansion. High Mountain Tauren already existed. They're on Kalimdor. So, suddenly having, like, oh, well, now there's these Tauren that have antlers. Okay. The Nightborn, again, shouldn't exist. They should not exist. Anyway, besides individual stories, let's actually go to the game. Where's my... I want my light gray. The gameplay of Legion is also pretty crap, because it continued on the trend of you hit endgame and all you do is heroics. Heroics, 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 heroics. Heroics, that's all you do is heroics, 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 heroics. And then, oh, and more heroics. And then besides that, let's see, you had your Order Hall stuff, which most of the most of the storylines, again, the individual storylines sucked because it was all bloat. Well, we have to give every single spec, regardless of your class, every spec needed their own individual story. Why? At that point, it became bloated to the point that they literally copied and pasted quests for other classes. Like, what was it? Like, oh god, I can't remember, but like priest and paladin or priest and some other class. I don't remember what it was, but they shared literally like the exact same story, the exact same everything besides the weapon itself. So it's like, well, what the fuck? It also begs the question of how come all of these, like, it's cool to have some lore items come back, like Doomhammer, like Ashbringer, but then suddenly we're getting all of these just out of the blue. Where the fuck did these come from? Suddenly, weapons. It's like, wait, so how come we're just now finding out about this thing, and how come all of these it's one thing to have like one weapon, like, oh, suddenly now we know about it, but how come all of them are just suddenly coming out of the woodwork? It makes no frickin' sense. That just suddenly everybody knows about all these magical artifacts that have been around for since the beginning of time and all this bullshit. And on top of that, a lot of them, especially the bigger lore ones, put the original owners of them they basically just killed them off or made them absolutely useless. Thrall got cucked. He's useless now because he can't wield Doomhammer. He's gone. Tyrallion, not Tyrallion, what's his name? Tyrion? He's dead. He's fucking dead. They killed his ass. Some of the wash is still drying. I didn't realize that. Might have to wait a little bit to keep dry brushing. Oh yeah, I was gonna go talk about mechanics. I'm still talking about story. Let's see. Well, the legendary system is obviously one. The legendary system is absolutely terrible. I think everybody can agree. Why the fuck are you having legendaries drop out of a fucking vending machine like candy? And on top of that, it's all RNG. So it got to the point where raids were not even bringing their best players because they, God forbid, didn't get the right legendary. I think I'm going to use gray, actually, for his armor. And then I'll put a little bit of silver on it. So yeah, the legendary system was just absolutely atrocious in Legion. Then let's see what else. Trying to think. So one thing that I will like, let's give Knocking Legion a little bit of a break, and instead I'm going to tell you something I like about Legion. Well, to a degree. I like the fact that there was a lot of stuff to do at the end game. The criticism now comes into the form of they were too quick to finish. A lot of them were you work on it for like a day to maybe a week and then you're done. That's it. So you could do all of the side objectives, all of that custom, or not custom, but all the optional content like real quick. So it's like, okay, well shit, I've been playing this game for a month and I've got everything now. The only thing that kept me playing was, I was a role player at the time, so I was just role-playing with people. That's really the only thing that kept me playing. The raids themselves, I did not care for, Emerald Nightmare. I thought that was a pretty terrible, raid. I didn't care for the bosses or anything. What's it called? It was like the Trial of something. The one where you had to go, kill Helia. That one, was okay. I know it's supposed to be just like a filler raid. It was okay. The Suramar raid was the next one. I thought that one took too long. Like, some of it was okay, but I thought all in all, it just took too long. Tomb had some okay bosses, but a lot of the bosses were kind of shitty. And then I didn't really play Antorus because I was starting to quit at that time. I don't have any memory of Antorus because I didn't really do it. I think I did it a couple times on LFR, and that was it. They try... Oh, I forgot. World Quests. Okay, so... Here's my beef with World Quests. This is where they were introduced, and they were to replace dailies. But the thing is, they should not have replaced dailies. They should... Like, I don't mind the World Quests themselves being there. I just don't like how they replaced the original systems, because now, think about it. You want to level up the High Mountain Tauren, for an example. You want to get their reputation up. Well, you are now at the mercy of RNGesus to provide you with the quests for the day that will allow you to gain reputation with them, because without the original daily system, you cannot pick and choose what quests you want to do. It's whatever the game dictates that you could do for that day, because the world quest system is RNG. So now I couldn't even get to pick and choose what reputations I wanted to level. I was like, what the fuck? So it just took longer to level up stuff, because it's like, well, I don't want to level up this one, but that's what it is for the day. So I would just not do dailies or world quests. Bum 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 bum. Oh yeah, and then you have the artifact weapons. So I was talking about the story of the artifact weapons, but the artifact weapons themselves were terrible gameplay, because now not only are there no like weapons you can get out into the world, you're stuck with the one you're given. I thought all of them looked ugly as sin. I think like only like 1 or 2 of them I did not transmog over out of the like 4 or 5 characters I had at max level. The only one I didn't mog over were the base ones, not the base model of the rogue outlaw scimitars. Like, those looked cool, but I did not like any of the other ones. I didn't like the upgraded one. I didn't like the special bullshit. I didn't like any of the other artifact weapons for my other characters, like the what else did I play in Legion? I think I played Hunter. Yeah, I played Hunter, I played Druid, I played Monk, and Rogue. That's what I played. But I thought all of them were ugly. I did like some, not all, but I like some of the Druid forms in Legion. So, I actually really liked the jungle stalker look. So, like, it was like that orange tiger and the white tiger. I never got the white tiger. I tried to get it, but I never could, because people were idiots when we were trying to get the achievements in the dungeons. But I got the orange one. I don't remember how. And I used that one all the time. Well, at least I did when I used to play retail. But I couldn't mog over it, because if I did, I wouldn't be able to use that form, at least from what I remember. Then they changed that, but I think originally you couldn't mog over, or else you'd lose your form. Okay, I did the base coat of gray for the armor. I'm gonna hit it with silver, and then I'll wash it. So yeah, I might keep an eye out on Tori and try out their Legion server when it comes out. Where's my silver? Here it is. Alright, so let's give this a silver. You know what? Hang on a second. Where's that gray? Here. I forgot about his knee pads. Where'd the gray go again? Oh. I've got so much paint on this palette. I'm gonna have to pull out my super glue and glue back on his beard that I broke earlier. It's just like the tip of it. There we go. Okay. Now let's do the silver. This silver is going to make it look really shiny. I'm going to have to hit it with the wash to make it look more like a dirtied, hammered metal. But the base coat of the gray will help it pop a little bit more. Besides Legion, I've actually been very tempted to try out a Warlords of Draenor server. Because I always felt that that expansion was like the expansion of missed opportunity. And I want to, because now that it's been like pretty much a decade, oh my god, it's been a decade since Warlords, well, almost a decade rather. I want to, just like Legion, give it another chance, but I want to see how it is by itself, without the year-long wait for the new expansion, without all the bullshit. So like you're just starting from this, you're starting from the top and going through it all and just see how the content itself of what we were given was. Because from what I remember, what we were actually given was okay. Like it wasn't good, but it was okay. But the issue came down that this expansion wasn't finished. And it was clearly shown that it wasn't finished, and they didn't work on it at all after launch. They gave us Twitter integration, and that was it. I don't think I'm going to try a TBC server because I have already played TBC on Classic, and I just kind of went through it recently on Stormforged, because you still have to level on that server, you can't skip it. So I had to actually level in Outland. And I leveled also in Wrath recently, again on Classic and on Stormforged. So those two expansions I will skip. But now that I played, I don't think I want to play Cataclysm because I think that's boring. But I gave Mists of Pandaria another playthrough, and I really like Mists of Pandaria. I'm gonna give Warlords another chance. I gotta find a private server. I see one that's listed. It's not a good server, but I'm not going for the MMO aspect. I just want to kind of play through the leveling experience and a little bit of the endgame and see how it is. And same thing with Legion. I'm gonna give Legion another chance. I still think I'm gonna hate it, but I do want to try to give Legion another chance. I'm just gonna wait for Tori to come out with theirs instead of playing one that's already out. Alright, so I'm gonna let that silver dry a minute before I wash it. Let's check out my wolf. Some of his wash is still wet, but I think he's dry enough now we can actually, dry brush him. Hello, 3 extra small, I guess. I don't really know how to pronounce that. 3 extra small. 3XS. Oh, you're leveling on Turtle WoW? That's cool. Yeah, I'm just kind of like shooting the shit. I talked a little bit. Oh, I need to make more of this light gray. I talked a little bit about news for the private servers earlier, but there's, come on, there's not a lot of news right. And of course, it gave me too much. There's not a lot of news right now, so I kind of blew through it real quick. The did I put white in it? I think I put white. And I was saying I want to find a day where my friends can play Turtle WoW again, because they like Turtle WoW. It's just a matter of finding a time to play it, and then I want to stream it because a lot of people liked watching them play, because they've never ever played WoW before. Turtle WoW is their first time ever interacting with Warcraft itself, so they have a little bit of experience with other MMOs and just RPGs in general. So it's not like trying to teach your dad how to play, right? They can understand what the various like what mana is. They understand what intellect and strength and all the stats are. So they understand all of that. So that's not a big deal, luckily. So right now what I'm doing is I'm dry brushing a very light gray on my wolf here, so it highlights the fur so you can see it, and then it makes the dark gray end up in the crevices, so it just makes it pop a lot more. I'm really liking how this wolf is turning out. You can't really see the dark brown anymore after I washed them, but it's fine. So I gotta do his saddle next. Alright, let me check the orc. Is the silver dry? It's still drying a little bit. So now I want to do silver on the cuffs of the wolf. I think I need to do the dark brown or dark gray first, just so it has a base coat. Ah, I need more. Where's... oh, here it is. But yeah, I don't remember what level my friends were on Turtle WoW. I know that they were starting Dunmorrow. I think I took them to Westfall. Oh, I remember now. Okay, so I think I got them to the end of Elwyn Forest, but my friend Miles was still too low level to start Westfall, so we logged off for the night. I think he said he played a little bit more off stream, so next time we play, we should be able to start Westfall. Turtle WoW is not a Blizz-like, and it's not a fun server. It's considered a Vanilla Plus server. A fun server, is one that basically is like a do whatever you want kind of server. Like a literally just have fun, don't care about the lore, don't care about the mechanics, do whatever the fuck you want. And Blizz-like means that they're trying to replicate Blizzard, in which Turtle WoW is not trying to do any of that. So they're considered a Vanilla Plus server. Alright, wait for that to dry and then I'll hit it with the silver. Guesses on Azeroth at War release. See, I don't know. Because what happened was for the beta that they're going on with right now, apparently there was supposed to be a lot more added. But something happened when they were trying to transfer the data from the developmental server to the beta server. So a lot of it got left out. A lot of it like didn't transfer over properly. So a lot of quests are missing. That's why when we were in Ashenvale, we picked up the new custom quests, but the creatures and items were not anywhere to be seen because they didn't get transferred over. And that's why we saw one of my custom quests that I wrote in Stranglethorn, but all the other ones were missing. Even though I looked and it said that they were supposed to have been implemented already. So that's unfortunately something that happened. It shouldn't happen again because they're gonna do something else that would prevent that. But it means we won't be able to see any of that stuff until, you know, the next beta. But from what I've seen, let's pretend that Azeroth at War had all of the stuff that was missing added, like like pretend that didn't happen and nothing was missing during the transfer. For what they have finished, and by the way, I know how much they have finished because I'm actually on the staff team. For what they have finished right now, it's gonna be another year before they release, if I had to guess. Because, he was pumping out content for the zones, but it stopped suddenly because after the last beta, a lot of the, like, experimental, specs, like tanking rogue and of course the custom necromancer stuff, a lot of it didn't feel good to players. And so they said, okay, well, we need to drop everything and fix that because that's going to be the biggest thing, is how people are playing with their class. You know, that comes before any new custom quests or a new race or anything, which, fair enough. But then a problem came around where the person who was doing all that stuff, who was doing all the class stuff, he quit. So now they're on their own. But from what I saw, they got a couple of people together that are already on the developmental server. They're getting together and they're going to work on the classes. So it might be a little bit longer, but they're figuring it out as it goes along. Well, what do you mean by missing animation? Because, you know, the custom classes, some of them just don't have animation to begin with. They're paying people to make custom animations for the races that didn't have it, you know, such as the Naga being able to now ride mounts and loot creatures. I think they made some for the Murlocs too. But, you know, besides that, which they just haven't finished yet, what animations do you think that they're missing? Trying to paint the chain on the side of this wolf. He's got like chains for reins. Yeah, I might have to fix that silver on his teeth later because I still have to paint his teeth white. A lot of secondhand weapons had one-hand animation. Yeah, but I don't really think that's a big deal because they at least have animations for combat. So at least it's not something that's completely missing, like a Naga being able to lay down, right? I think they should make a custom animation for the lay down, so the Naga kind of like curls up in a little ball like a snake. That'd be really cute. I would love that. Yeah, see, Furbolg having one animation for casting, at least they have an animation for casting, so that should be on the back burner. Get all the animations that are completely missing right now, and then worry about adding additional ones. Alright, so now I need my black wash to put on the armor. With the Furbolg, I'm messing with their starting area. I didn't have too much to complain about their starting area, but I really wish that they made it seem more like a battle and just added a little bit more like environmental stuff to the zone itself. Plus add more armor, because there was hardly any armor rewards. The other races all had like tons of armor rewards. Like the Naga was pretty good about that. The only thing with the Naga is it started off really good, but by the end it became very boring, especially that fucking run. Like, Jesus Christ, why couldn't that have been skipped? Epoch, there's still no word on when they're going to be releasing. What I was saying earlier was that, oops. A little too much. What I was saying earlier was that, the first two betas for Epoch WoW went very well, but this last one that they did just had a lot of issues. So, they're focusing right now on just getting all those issues done, but there's a lot more than they've ever had because the last beta just kind of went all fuckety. So that's why I think that they need to do another beta. Just do like a part 2. Where did I have that tear off piece? Oh, I'm not tear another piece off. Okay, that's what they did with the second beta. Is they had a part 2 beta to be like, all right, so we fixed everything from beta 2. Let's test all that before we worry about beta 3. And I think that's what they need to do for their beta 3, is to have a part 2 to test out all the stuff that they are currently fixing to make sure that they're fixed. He's looking better. If I have to give an estimation for Epoch WoW, if they don't do uh, the part 2 beta, then possibly Christmas time that they could come out. Why is my camera all fuckety? But if they do the beta, probably not until like springtime next year, I'm guessing. Why Skyrim? Why not Morrowind or Oblivion? Just curious. I prefer Morrowind, but I actually found Oblivion to be kind of boring. I like Skyrim. Oblivion I found boring, and then I like Morrowind. Morrowind was fun. I actually just recently started replaying Kingdom Come Deliverance. Okay, so I don't really have a dark red. This is my darkest red I have, but when I do a black wash over it, it'll darken up. So when I do this, for his loincloth. You didn't like Oblivion either? Oh yeah, like I like Skyrim. I think it's amazing. I can't play it anymore now because I've played it so much that I've just got like everything memorized. So there's kind of like a little bit of a boredom there because I know where everything is and I know how to do everything. And you could say like, oh, we'll just get a custom mod so the map is fresh, so you could still play it and you could find new things to do. But I've had a lot of bad experiences with mods in the past with Skyrim, and I just no longer want to mod Skyrim because of that. Like, God forbid you have a mod that goes out of date for a day and your whole save is corrupt. It's like, you could make backups, but at the same time, you make your backup and then you go and you do all the stuff on the character with the mod, and you lose that because of, you know, whatever fucks up with the save. Well, now you're back to your backup, which, you know, puts you back at level 5 or whatever it is, right? After getting level 40, I'm just kind of making up numbers there, but you get my gist. So it's like, so it doesn't really matter. So if you get rid of a mod, like let's say it's an armor mod, because this is what happened to me. You get an armor mod, and the armor mod goes out of date, so therefore it can't be used. You have to get rid of it. Well, like on any other game, it would just make it so that armor disappears, right? If I was playing Conan Exiles or Ark, and I had an armor mod and I had the armor mod on, I delete the mod. Well, just the armor disappears, but everything else is fine. In Skyrim, does that happen, or does it still fuck up your save? I need a brown. Let's see. Golden brown. How's that? That should contrast against the work skin. Ooh. Yeah, see, it happened to me a couple of times, and I've lost a couple of saves. That's why I no longer mod Skyrim, but I mod the hell out of Ark and Conan because I know that my stuff is safe. If, like I said, if a mod gets deleted, my character, my base, my armor, everything is still there. So I'm more confident on modding it. I don't know if I want to do the straps of the armor. I mean, you kind of should, but they're just so small, and my paintbrush can only go so skinny. And I can only zoom in my vision so much. I could do the belt though. What kind of character do you play on Skyrim? And why is it Khajiit stealth archer? If it's not a Khajiit stealth archer, you're playing it wrong. Let's see. My very first character on Skyrim was a Khajiit battle mage. So I had a sword and then I had a spell. And I think I wore plate armor. Then let's see. I have it, and then I made a Khajiit stealth archer, but then I liked making a lot of either Nord or Orcish warriors. I had one orc that I literally like leveled up as much as I could, and I don't remember what weapon he had, but he was beefed out. And then I got he had a mod to have a couple of followers follow me at once, and I just gathered up a bunch of orc followers, and then I just went around raiding the countryside, and I racked up like tens of thousands of bounty because I was killing everybody in Riften and in Dawnstar and Whiterun, and I was literally going on horseback, just knocking off all their heads. That was kind of fun. I was literally just a orc marauder. That was how I roleplayed. But before I did that, I got favor with Dawnstar so I could get the house. So, and then once I had my house, then I was like, okay, thanks. Now I'm gonna kill you all. That's too light. I need a darker brown for that. This one, that's actually what I took it out for. Oh, yes, it looks like chocolate. Let's try that again. Yes. This is, I think, actually, no, I got a couple more minis here. I got 2 left over from that, game that I bought, the board game that I bought. And then I have one little orc guy over here I got for free at a convention. But besides that, for, like, these more high-quality resin print guys, I need to buy more. Because I've painted all the ones that I got. If I ever get enough of them, like if I ever get like a bunch of them, which eventually I will, I want to make a diorama. I still don't know what it would be though. What? I'll come get in a little bit. They're telling me dinner is ready. Tonight we are having sancocho. It's basically a Spanish stew. I'm like almost done with the work already. This is crazy. I thought this was going to take me a lot longer, but I'm almost done. And the wolf is almost done too. I just need to do his saddle, but I didn't expect the wolf to take that long because most of him is just going to be his fur. That's why I tried adding some gradients with different colors and stuff. Oh yeah, so this next weekend, I'm gonna try to pre-record a couple of videos for this next weekend, starting Thursday into Sunday. I'm not gonna be home. I'm gonna be out of town, like 2 hours away. I'm gonna be y'all know how I make the how I leather craft, right? I do all the leather crafting and the cosplay stuff. I sell it in person. I sell it on Etsy, but I also sell it in person at conventions. And there's a convention coming up, so I'm gonna go and sell my shit. Hopefully I make a lot of money. Okay, almost done with the arc. I still... Here, where's my super glue? Let me do that real quick. I need a super glue on that little piece I snapped off. And then I really just need to finish up his belt, the weapon, and his hair, and he's done. And the wolf, I just gotta do the saddle. Got me... There, I just needed a little dab. Where'd the piece go? Oh, there it is. I see it. On that. Now here's the hard part is I don't remember which way it was facing when it snapped. I think it was like that. Okay, just gotta let it dry for a second. Yeah, that seems right. Okay, let that dry. Let's work on the saddle. I don't know what color I should make the saddle bag. I'm gonna just do this, just do a brown for the saddle itself, though. Looks like there's fur under the saddle, so I'll probably do the light brown for the fur of the saddle, and then the saddle itself I'll do like a dark brown. Oh yeah, did y'all see my community post where I found Warcraft 1 as a as a browser game. It's like a retro gaming site, but it's all browser-based, so you don't have to install anything. I got in trouble at work for playing it, but it was fun. I've seen a couple of like videos of Warcraft 1, but I never actually played it. So I played it. I only got 3 levels in, but holy shit, I played a little bit of Warcraft 3 and a little bit of like StarCraft and stuff. So I wasn't really put off by like the older models, the older technology. What put me off was the fact that it was so fucking slow. Like, it took forever just to get a grunt to walk anywhere and explore the map. It's like, shit, I need a gold mine. Where the fuck are all the gold mines? Well, they just go... They walk really slow. I want to play Warcraft 2 now, because, again, that's another one. It's like, I've seen gameplay, I just never actually played it myself. I only played a little bit of Warcraft 3 on somebody else's computer, and that was it. Did I put dark brown? I did put dark brown. Let's do that for the saddle itself. I looked up the different levels, though, for Warcraft 1, just to see. And they added a lot of lore to the first war over the years. So... like, I already know the lore of the First War, right? The Orcs invade, they destroy Stormwind, there's a couple of heroes involved, you got Garona, you got Gul'dan, you got all these characters, right? Well, then you go back and play Warcraft 1, and then you realize how much lore was either changed or added. If you read the quest text of the human campaign and the orc campaign, it is so bare bones basic and it's beautiful. Literally, it's like, for the orc campaign, it's level 1, set up a base and some farms. Okay, and then you have to kill all the humans on the map, and there's like 10 humans on the map, so just kill them, and they don't even have a base, they're just scattered. So it's like the introduction level, right? Step 2, what's step 2 is the Borderlands level. That one, there's more humans, because they're starting to encroach. Go kill them. And then, level 3, well now you gotta go in, actually start hunting humans on their land, and yada yada. Anyway, it's basically that, right? And you are, like, supposed to be, like, just, like, the general or whatever of the Horde, taking orders from Blackhand. Blackhand is the only named character. Well, there's one more named character, but, Blackhand is the only named character right now. There is no Grommash. There is no, Kilrog. There's no Gul'dan. And for the Alliance, it's the same thing. It's like, okay, set up, okay, oh, the orcs are slowly starting to come in, blah, 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 and then they kind of like go like this, right? So the orcs get into the human lands, and the humans go into the orc lands, which is Swamp of Sorrows, but the Swamp of Sorrows has the Black Rock Spire in it. That all got changed later on. But, wait, do I have the original map of Warcraft 1? I think I have it, because I made a leather map of it, and that's one of the things I'm selling at this event, right? Actually, I might just be able to pull up that map. I don't think I have the actual map itself. Pictures... Where would I put it? Oh, no, it's not that one. That's one of the leather maps, but it's not the one. Ah, crap. Anyway. So it basically ends up, like, halfway through, something happens on each side. So, like, one of the levels on the orc side is, Grisla, or I think that's her name, Grisla, Gretelsta, I don't know, something like that, who's the daughter of Blackhand, because remember, he had 2 sons and a daughter. the daughter ran off with an ogre. So he orders you to go and kill the daughter and all the ogres who are hiding in the dead mines, and then you kill all the humans while you're in there. The humans get word that the orcs were all in there, and they had captured Anduin Lothar, who had gone missing for years, but suddenly he's shown back up, so they have to go into the dead mines, kill the orcs, and rescue him and heal him. After that, I don't remember. Oh, I remember. The humans get word that Lane, King Lane, had died to assassination from the half-orc Garona. And while on the Horde side, before that happens, they get to find Garona, who gives them intel. So Garona doesn't get possessed or any of this bullshit. She just goes in there and assassinates the bitch. So that's one of the changes. Then afterward, Blackhand is no longer a proper leader. They don't explain it. They just say, Blackhand is slacking. Now is your time to take command of the Horde. So then now you're doing orc versus orc, and you're going against the Horde with your group of orcs, and eventually you overthrow Blackhand and you become the war chief. And then from there you go, and the final level is Stormwind, and that's what you take over is Stormwind. Well, you have to do like Moonbrook, and you have to do Goldshire and I think Northwatch and all that, or Northshire and all that stuff. But then you go and you take over Stormwind, you fucking win, right? And then you see the picture of the orcs sitting on the chair, and orcs are victorious, while the humans, they march into Swamp of Sorrows, they take out Stonard and Rockhard, and then they move to the Black Rock Spire, and then that's where they destroy the Black Rock Spire and become victorious. So in the Warcraft lore, they merged both of those stories, so they both won and lost at the same time. Stormwind gets destroyed, Black Rock Spire doesn't get destroyed, but the orcs lose on that battlefield. So it was kind of like they both won and lost at the same time, just like in the game, with a lot of their heroes and a lot of their leaders being killed on each side. And then they both regroup. The Alliance of Azeroth, the Kingdom of Azeroth, which gets renamed to the Kingdom of Stormwind later on, but it's Kingdom of Azeroth. I've never agreed with that change. Anyway, they all move up north to Lordaeron. Well, now the orcs are regrouping, and Ogrim takes over, and this is Warcraft 2. This is the second war. Ogrim takes over, which technically you are Ogrim in Warcraft 1, because you become the war chief, right? Well, Ogrim is now the war chief as of the second war, and he rallies the Horde, who were kind of discouraged after the loss, and they're like, okay, well, we got a new leader, let's keep going. So then they move up north, and they fucking raid Lordaeron. They're taking out everywhere, right? They fucking march on Lordaeron City, they march on, I think they march on the Elflands a little bit. They fucking take out everything. Like, Ogrim, he got it, right? And even then, when they lose the battle and they take Ogrim hostage, fucking Ogrim escapes and he runs off into the wilderness. He doesn't get seen again until Thrall comes around, right? So fucking Ogrim's a badass. Yeah, it's just so funny replaying Warcraft 1 and just seeing all the changes that they did to the lore. All the additions, too. Like, you know, Grommash is not there, even though he's there later on, because they added him. I think Grom is in the second game, because I remember hearing lines of dialogue from him, like, yeah, let's go kill the humans, or I don't remember exactly what he says, but I think Grom is in Warcraft 2. Let me read the chat. There should be an option to speed up the gameplay, if I remember. Ding on your level 30. Nice. Yeah, I actually don't know. I did find some cheat codes, because what happened was, so I played it once and it was fine, and then I played it a second time, but level 1, where all you gotta do is, really the win condition is kill all the humans and make 5 farms and 1 barrack. That's the win condition. Well, I killed all the humans. I even checked with the map online to see where they're all hiding, and I killed all of them. I found all of the mines, I explored 90% of the map, and I had like 6 farms and 2 barracks going, but it didn't win condition for me. It didn't win. So I was like, well, what the fuck? So I I found a cheat code online to automatically win you the round, so I just did that. It's so funny because when you cheat in that game, it's like, oh, you activated the cheat code, you wascally wabbit. I thought that was kind of funny. The devs making fun of you for cheating. But it's like, well, I technically won. I did beat the level. It's just, the game was broken. And actually, I found out, so the first time I played it, I thought that it was a change into the next game where your little characters would fight back if they get attacked first. Because the first time I played it, they did not attack an enemy until they got attacked first. So if I'm got my base right here and just a random human comes along, if they start attacking a building, nothing happened. If they attacked one of my guards, the one guard would attack, but no one else would. The second time I played, apparently that bug got washed out because then the human would come along to my base and anyone who was nearby saw him and attacked him. So that I was like, okay, that was just a bug the first time I played it. And same thing when I went around with my band of orcs. Unlike the other games where you can just highlight everybody and Zerg rush them, right? Because I remember doing that in StarCraft, is you can just highlight everybody you can and just send them off. In Warcraft 1, you're limited to 4. So I would just take my orc warband. I would get like 2 grunts and 2 spearmen as of the second level and beyond, and I would just upgrade the spears, and I just send them out as like a freaking warband rushing across the screen. And I don't care if one died, but once there's 2 left, I would send 2 more to party up with them, and they just kept going and just wiping out the map. So that was pretty cool. See, and this also kind of, you know what, just for some contrast, I think I'm gonna make his sleeping bag blue. I'm gonna do like a dark blue, or maybe green. Should I go blue or green for the saddlebag? The wolf itself is gray. He's got a little bit of brown on his belly, and then his saddle is that. The orc itself, he's a Magar, so he's brown. He's got red loincloth and silver armor. I'm gonna give him black hair. So should I go green or blue? Like a navy blue. Where's my navy blue? Here it is. So I got navy blue and I got like dark green. What was I saying? See, this also kind of tells me that, because, you know, I'm critical of retail WoW, right? Like, I don't like what they've been doing gameplay-wise or story-wise, because I am a very tolerant person when it comes to video games. When Cataclysm, I loved vanilla, loved TBC. Well, TBC I think is mid, but I still loved playing the game, right? I loved Wrath of the Lich King. Cataclysm is when a lot of people started going like, oh man, this is terrible. Do you want to, like, I started to see definitely what they were talking about, but I still played it. You want to know why? Yeah, even though the gameplay is not that good anymore, I still liked the story, and I still liked role-playing with my friends, and all that stuff held me on. And it's like, I still love these characters and the lore and all this stuff, so I'll tolerate it. Mr. Pandaria came, and I fucking love that expansion, and I just replayed it. I still love it. I love Mr. Pandaria. I liked the story. Yeah, there are issues with the story here and there, but the overall story and even some of the smaller stories, I loved. I liked the gameplay. I liked the PvP. I was PvPing then. I didn't quite care for the first few raids, but the last 2 raids I liked. I just liked all the open world stuff, all the roleplay stuff that they built in, plus the roleplay with my friends. It was great. Warlords came around. Warlords is when I really started to get tested, because now remember how I said about, unless you just joined in and don't know what I'm talking about, but there's the overall story of an expansion and then the smaller stories of the expansion. Warlords of Draenor, I think, excelled in the smaller stories, but the overall story was trash. So now the story is starting to go down and not be as good anymore, and that's one of the things that was holding me on. The gameplay, I liked it at the start, but definitely you hit a point where it's like, okay, so is there anything else to do? No, because it got abandoned. The Warlords got abandoned. So it's like, well, shit. So you go like a year and a half with no content, and what little that they did add out was shit. The overall story is shit. So I'm still barely hanging on. I think I only quit in the last like quarter of the expansion to go start playing private servers. And then Legion came around. I came back, and yeah, there are things about Legion I don't like, but I still played it. A Battle for Azeroth. Again, I was on and off. Like, I come back for a new patch for like a month or two, and then I quit again, and I was on and off. Like, I was really being tested. Again, I am very tolerant of the bullshit, but it gets to a point where it's too much. And because I started being more and more critical, because the game just kept getting more and more shit, people kept telling me. One of the things that people would tell me is that, well, maybe you just outgrew World of Warcraft. Maybe this game is not for you anymore. Motherfucker, let me tell you something. The game changed what audience it was looking for. It is no longer catering to the Warcraft audience. It is catering to fucking Tumblr users, Deviant Art users. That's why the Savage Worgen. Remember from the Cataclysm, the Cataclysm opening? The Savage Worgen has joined the Alliance. They turned them into actual furries with softer facial expressions. The fucking Volpera, that's just flat out furry. The all that stuff, the Drakthir, why are they even playable? We need, like, no one, everybody wanted like a dragon-like race, but we wanted dragons. Again, not Tumblr fucking scaly art. That's all it is, with the fucking flamboyant colored hair like all these fucking college kids from Gen Z and all this bullshit. It's like, are you fucking serious right now? And then, of course, the Dragonflight storyline of the hugs, feelings, and power of friendship. Like, it is now catering to people who don't care for the original Warcraft. So, yeah, it is no longer for me because they changed it. Warcraft is no longer for the people who love Warcraft. I went back, I just replayed Warcraft 1. I didn't finish it, but at least I got the gist of it, and I played half of it. I just replayed Warcraft 1. I just reread in the last year or two, a lot of the original books. I'm talking Warcraft 1, Warcraft 2, Limited Warcraft 3. All of the books of that time period, I reread them recently. They are fucking awesome. I love all the stories, all the characters. It got me engrossed. I love all of them. I want to reread Shattering now, because that one was actually a really good one. Wolfheart, even though that's a Cataclysm book, it was a very good story. I loved it. It's great. So, no, I have not outgrown Warcraft. Warcraft left me, and I would give anything to have that Warcraft back. If Chris Metzen pulls a Hail Mary, and I know he's not going to be able to do it in one expansion. That's why I'm not banking on War Within, because from what I've heard, he joined in halfway through, saw what they were doing, and said, no, let's change this, which got a lot of people pissed off internally. That's what's coming down through the grapevine, and I've heard several people who know people in Blizzard. I know that's kind of like it's a friend of a friend kind of bullshit, but considering there's multiple different people, especially who don't talk to each other, talking about this, there's got to be something to it, right? So, again, I don't think Chris Metz is going to pull a Hail Mary, but he can kind of guide it back into the right direction. And I will wait and see on that, because, again, I'm not giving up on... I'm not playing it right now, but I'm not going to give up on World of Warcraft and Black Pill to the point that I'm going to become apathetic. I'm painting a goddamn orc, for Christ's sake. I've got fucking a gnoll, several orcs. I've got the Lich King, a Tauren, another orc, Varian, Jaina. I've got all those characters because I love them. Their story is fantastic. It's great. The problem is the people working at Blizzard right now have no respect for the original Warcraft. They don't respect Warcraft 1. They don't respect Warcraft 2, Warcraft 3, Vanilla, TBC, Wrath. They don't respect any of that. They don't respect the lore. Like, they can do whatever they want to the gameplay, even though it is dog shit right now. And from what I've heard, a lot of people are saying War Within is not that good. They say the gameplay is boring, the story is lackluster. I saw what's his fucking name, Quinn, just put out like an hour-long video or whatever it was of him saying why he's quitting. I just kind of did a breeze through, but yeah, what he's saying of why he's quitting is basically what we've been saying for years now, but now they're just finally waking up to this. Come the fuck on. So yeah, I want if Warcraft, like, they don't have to completely erase everything and go back to classic, right? I like classic for what it is because it does feel like an RPG that happens to be an MMO in the world of Warcraft, where you adventure out and explore the world of Warcraft, and then all the main characters can have their adventures alongside you or whatever, and you can do whatever you want because you're just the adventurer, you're the champion of whatever faction. So that means you're not technically in the war like a grunt. You can aid your faction, but you can also go off and do other things, so you're not going to go AWOL and get, killed for abandonment, right? So that was the reason why you were an adventurer or a champion. So I was completely okay with that. But the moment they started making you general, the moment they started making you champion of Azeroth and all this kind of bullshit, then that's when the story started to go declining, because they put too much emphasis on you and not on Thrawn, not on Jaina, the actual main characters of the story. So, like, there's just so much fucking wrong with it right now. Like I said, okay, I kept divulging, but if World of Warcraft, again, they don't have to go into vanilla, if they fix what is currently there, they reintroduce RPG mechanics, I know that they're not going to be able to completely wipe out most of the stuff overnight because the fucking Zoomers are gonna start bitching and crying, but slowly reintroduce them. They don't have. I love ammo, but they don't have to do ammo. They can do something else. They can do something else that is aligned with the RPG. Maybe they give hunters an item that acts like an ammo, but it's a coating, right? So then you can get different buffs for your ammo based on different things that you collect. Like, they can reintroduce things to add more to the RPG, but not have to completely revert it so that the whiners would whine. Just get rid of LFR. There's no need for it to be there. Have easy mode, have hard mode. That's all you need. Not 5 different modes. If you want a 10-man and a 20-man, fine. I would prefer it just be one stock number. Just have it be a 10 or 15-man and be done with it. The story. What they need to do, because we are sick and tired. Most people are sick and tired of these out-of-world, extraterrestrial, interdimensional, all this kind of bullshit enemies, to the point that nothing feels serious anymore. Why would I care about a Null Lord or a Kobold Lord or a Nerubian as of this new expansion? Why would I care about that when we've killed gods? We've killed gods. So, without completely retconning, because a big retcon or just a wake up and it didn't happen is kind of a cop-out, especially because they missed the opportunity to do that already when they could have done that with N'Zoth. So what they need to do is, World of Warcraft, in its lore, in its deep lore, have had elements like this. The War of the Ancients, for an example, was technically a big world-ending event. The fucking Legion was invading, and it was destroying everything, killing all the Night Elves, shattering the world. It was terrible, right? Well, it's no longer like that as of a couple thousand years afterward, right? A couple thousand years happen afterward, and then it goes back onto boots on the ground. You got, the War of the Sands, which is just basically elves versus bugs. You got other wars that are just boots on the ground. The Troll Wars, elves versus trolls, and all this other stuff. Eventually, the Orcish Horde invade, and so you can have an existential, I can't say that word, you know what I mean. You can have this big life or world-ending event, and then go back to a normal story after time has passed. So what they need to do is have a time skip. After this last Titan expansion, they need to have like a fucking 50 or longer year time skip, and just say that your character is like the descendant of the original character, but that way you can keep your characters and keep all the stuff, like, because it's inherited or whatever. But then you can have this time skip where world-ending threats are of the past. It's legends, it's myth, and then new factions form because, well, now we're fighting over land again, we're fighting over magic again, whatever have you. There's a new warlock that's trying to take over the kingdom. There's dragons becoming evil again. And then we can go back onto boots on the ground, more realistic in a sense, just gritty fantasy story. That is the only way to fix it without completely retconning it. But are they gonna do it? We don't know. Oh my god, I just went on this fucking huge ass rant. I need something to drink. Holy fuck. I hope you enjoyed that. Oh, that huge speech actually also plugged up my nose. I'm gonna mute 1 second. Oh, holy fuck. Alright. Best rant on YouTube right now. But again, this is what I'm saying is I have not outgrown Warcraft. I still love Warcraft. It's just the current retail game right now is not Warcraft. It's Palia. And I use Palia as an example all the time because Palia, they went on this whole big thing about how, oh yeah, we're ex-Blizzard employees. We left because of all the bullshit, so come check out this game. Oh, fuck, did I just break his beard again? Ah, I broke his beard again. You know what? Fuck it. It'll just be, roped off at the bottom of his beard, so we'll just have to deal with that. But yeah, that's why I use Palia as an example, because Palia is one of those feel-good games with all the, characters that look like racial stereotypes, even though they are supposed to be, fantasy creatures. Where they're supposed to be elves, but the elves look like fucking stereotyped black people. And in this feel-good game where it takes hours of real-life time to build one building because fucking why? I don't know. And there's no combat in the game because everyone's friends. We're all friends. There's nothing to worry about. There's no conflict. So all that bullshit is what we're starting to see in WoW. That's why I say that. Alright, so I don't... Oh, that'll work. Oop, that's not the brush I want. I want this brush. I still don't know what to paint the saddlebag. I might have to flip a coin. I don't have a coin. Ba 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 ba. Alright, I'm gonna flip this Gatorade lid. So if it lands on this side, it will be blue. If it lands on this side, it'll be green. Oh, it landed between my legs. Alright, blue it is. Yeah, I think that'll look nice. This blue. It dries darker than what it is, so it's not going to be that bright. But it'll definitely give it some contrast, since I already have red and brown. Oh, there's a belt there. I'm gonna have to cover that in brown once I'm done with the blue. Yeah, this is the blue. I bought this blue specifically for when I was painting Varian, because he's got a blue cloak. I'm gonna have to use the little brush I can't reach. God damn. That rant really got me. Which is weird because I usually go on rants all the time, but I guess that one really got me. Going back to what I was talking about earlier about how I want to replay most of the expansions again, the reason why I want to is because I was going to do this series rating all the different expansions, which would eventually lead to a full, like, not only like a tier list video of the best expansions, but also because I did like a quickie one during a stream one time, and goddamn people were angry because I rated Legion low. But once I do like a full like actual one, after I do like full length videos of rating each expansion, then from there I wanted to make a video on what would be the perfect amalgamation expansion. So not adding anything new, just making an expansion of systems that, like, taking out all the best parts of all the best expansions and putting them together to make the perfect expansion. So I thought that would be like a neat little like what if situation. Oops, too much. I can't tell if his top knot starts there or if his hair is pulled back into the top knot. Let's see. What else to talk about? Oh, so that video I was telling you about that, like, what would be, like, the best amalgamation? I already have an idea. But these ideas, like, I want to put them into practice first. Again, that's one of the reasons why I want to, replay the expansions, because it's like, well, was that system actually good, or was that just me remembering something that didn't happen? Work is almost done. I think the wolf, besides his eyes, are pretty much done. I just need to color his eyes in. Here, let me see something. So, if we go oops. What happened? Okay, here? Where did I put it? Here. Okay, so this is... I don't know if this is going to be the, same afterward. Like, I don't know if this is going to, change at all, but this is what I have so far. I'll show you. So, the art style. I don't mind the HD world. I just don't like the new animations. So, having the HD world just with... I guess that was... The regular character was supposed to be like just the normal animations that they originally had would be okay. World maps, which would be Eastern Kingdom, Kalimdor, and a Warcraft 3-ish Northrend. So not the Northrend from Wrath of the Lich King, but a Warcraft 3 styled Northrend, and then the South Seas. So basically just all of Azeroth. No Outland, no Draenor, no Pandaria, none of that stuff. Quest types, I like the questing in Wrath of the Lich King the best, and I still agree to that. Professions, I don't know for sure. I wrote Wrath, I don't remember why. Class design, I like TBC and Wrath's class design the best. I think I just put down Wrath, but I do like both those the best. Mostly because of a lot of the quality of life that came with it. Like, as a hunter, I can tell you that with TBC, the dead zone was removed, and also the ability to automatically switch between ranged and melee, so I don't have to manually do it. So that was great quality of life. So, I also liked Wrath because of the exotic beast taming, and you can get like the other stuff. And again, that's just me talking from a hunter's perspective. I do remember enjoying a couple of other classes during those time periods, mainly TBC and Wrath, so that's completely fine. I'll go with the Wrath. PvE, I liked TBC abilities, but I wanted the vanilla raids and dungeons. So basically, dungeons and raids actually feel like you're going out into the world and then you find this mysterious cave and you're like, ooh, but there's a lot of strong creatures in it. And then as you go in, it feels like a dungeon crawl, like an actual dungeon crawl that you would have like in a freaking D&D campaign, right? So that's why I like vanilla dungeons the best. And even then, raids, that's kind of what they felt like, just with 40 people instead of 5. Now, TBC, they shortened all of that, right? Like, dungeons became 5-man romps. They were just quick, like 2 or 3 boss dungeons, go through them quick, linear, extra paths, and get done. I don't like that. Raids, the raids were okay. I didn't mind the attunement, but the attunement has to be account-wide. I don't like having to do it on multiple characters. You do it once and be done with it. PvP, I enjoyed Wrath of the Lich King, plus Wrath of the Lich King started going something for it with the zone PvP with destructible buildings and all that kind of stuff. So I liked Wintergrass, but they just needed to actually like build upon it instead of watering it down, which is what they did in Tol Barad, which is why it failed. World content, I wrote TBC only for the fact that world content actually should be Mists of Pandaria. Mists of Pandaria, in my opinion, has the best world content, but the reason why I wrote TBC is because of, right here, the reputation system, the dailies and the reputation system. The dailies of TBC and Mists of Pandaria are the best, and because of that, it made the reputations much easier, more enjoyable, which is why reputations I have TBC written, but really it should be TBC and Wrath, because both of them, and Mists of Pandaria, because both of them have the exact same methods. The lore, vanilla story, and Wrath delivery. So what I mean by that is vanilla with all these smaller, boots on the ground, gritty stories, the more realistic stories, while Wrath had a better delivery because, In, let's take Howling Fjord for an example. Howling Fjord is the easiest one I can explain. You don't have to go in any linear fashion in Howling Fjord. You can go to any of the hubs in any order. Each hub has its own mini story, but it all relates to the overall story of that zone, which adds to the overall story of the expansion. Now, in retail WoW, they want to push the story on you. They just want to get you into the story. Cutscene, 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 story, story, main character, main character. In Howling Fjord, because I'm using that as the example, there is a moment with the Lich King that sets up the dungeon, like the final dungeon of this zone, but it's not pushed on you. It's a side story. You're not forced into it. You're not forced into thousands of cutscenes and dialogue. You're literally like, hey, there's something wrong. We need to go help out the Yonka or the Tonka or whatever over here. So you go to the Tonka and they're like, okay, we need help with dealing with the Vrykul. You know what? The Vrykul are doing something weird over here. We need to go investigate it. Oh, they're doing necromancy? Well, you need to go back and you need to actually destroy all this stuff so they can't hurt us with the necromancy. And while you're at it, you know, you gotta kill the leader, and you find the leader, and it's the queen resurrecting the king. And then as you kill her, guess who comes out? Fucking Arthas. And he's like, I'm not done with you yet. And then he resurrects the king and sends him to Utgard Pinnacle, and that's where you have to fight him. While the Lich King is like, yeah, come face me in the Citadel, bitch, like I'll be waiting for you. And then he fucks off. And it's like, holy shit. And same thing in Zuldrak. Zuldrak is another great example of, well, that one's a little bit more linear because you work your way up. There's the Drakuru quest line, right? You start Drakuru in Grizzly Hills, and then it ends with a dramatic turn of events, like, oh no, we were actually helping him and he's helping the Lich King. It's like, oh fuck. Well, then you go and find him in Zuldrak, and your quest line is to find out what he's doing so you can sabotage and kill him. And then at the very end, guess what? Fucking Arthas comes and he kills him himself. And he's like, you're stupid. I'm done with you. Right? So you're getting major plots with Arthas in there leading up to your eventual face-off against him, but none of it is forced. It is a reward for doing side missions that start off as just normal story within the zones, and again, all optional. You could completely skip it if you wanted to. And then let's see, and then legendaries. Vanilla was the best legendaries. You have to craft them, and there's still RNG involved. You have to get all your friends together. So yeah, vanilla. Cataclysm did the same thing. A little bit of Wrath did it too, but TBC was just get a good lucky drop and you win. Miss Pandaria, I did not care for how they did legendaries at that point, or Draenor. Draenor, I don't even fucking remember it. But yeah. That is my little quickie, like, amalgamation, perfect expansion kind of thing. Alright, let's finish up this, orc. Ah! Okay, yeah. Need more gray. These acrylics, they dry really fast. It's like on one point that's good, but on another point, it's like, fuck, it's already dry, I still need it. I think I need something a little lighter. No, that's silver. Here, let me take a little bit of this. No, not the cream. Give me the white. I want to mix it with this gray I have over here. And make it a light gray. it's raining outside again. It's been non-stop raining here for like the last 2 weeks, and it's still gonna be raining for 2 weeks. It's better. I'm doing the same dry brush with the light gray on the chain over here of his weapon. Work is almost done. What I'm going to do is take a little bit of the blue. I'm going to paint that little braid at the end of his beard there. He's got a couple of knots up here. Get his teeth in. Let's see. I'm gonna use cream. Wait, nah, I think that's dry already. Because cream is a little bit more natural than just pure white. I'm not going to be able to get into his upper teeth. Might be able to get, let's see, is that red still good? Yeah, red's still good. Let me try to get his tongue. Okay, I got his tongue, but I got a little bit of his tooth. I can paint over that, it'll be fine. The eyes are the worst part because I don't really have a good way of doing the eyes. I just kind of guess at it. Hope I do it. Okay, wolf needs his teeth. You are a wolf with no teeth. All of you. I really liked those Loads of War videos. The marketing for Warlords or Draenor, regardless of how the expansion turned out, it was gold tier. That's why they went up to 10,000 subscribers in the first month of that expansion launching. It went down drastically afterward, but there's a reason why it went up so high. It's because the marketing for it was like so fucking hype. That's good. Let me put a little bit black on his nose, give him a black nose. Alright, almost done here. Okay, let's see. I think I want to give just a quick little... Put these away, I don't need these anymore. I want to give a quick little dry brush on the saddle. Give me light blue. Just to kind of give it a little texture. I'm gonna leave the silver shiny on the wolf, even though I darkened it out on the orc, but it would be fine. I still need to do his eyes. They're so tiny. The wolf? Where's that needle? I might be able to do it with the needle. Here. I've got this needle specifically for trying to do eyes. Oh, I need the white paint. Oop. What the fuck? Too many paints. Yeah. Hit it with the needle, but none of the paint actually wore off. I'm gonna try with the back end. Clean it up a little bit. Where's the gray? I need to fix up... Oh, that's gray. This is what I used. I need to fix up a little bit around his eye because it smeared a little bit. That's the hardest part, is just the eyes. I always end up smearing it, so then I have to kind of like fix it up a little bit. Probably like a dab of red for the iris. There we go. Now I put a little bit of that gray on his nose, just to kind of give it a little highlight. Alright, so... Oh, the blue. Oops. The dry brush wasn't dry enough. Okay, let's try that now. Yeah, that looks better. It looks a little bit more rugged. Okay, I think Wolfie is done, unless I want to add a little bit more texture to the saddle. Let me see how the orc sits in him. Nah, if I added more texture, you're not really going to see it. Yep. Okay, so those are done. I just gotta clear coat them, really. I'm not gonna do his eyes. There's no way in hell I'll be able to do it. They're just way too small. But this right here, I'm just gonna give it a quick gray. Just a little drop right on top of it. I'm gonna give it a quick gray with, I need some light gray highlights. Because then I want to put the snow texture on it. I'm probably going to do a little bit of snow texture first to see how it looks. And let it dry. And then I might, oops. Then I'll put the orc on there once it's all clear coated and stuff. See how it looks, and then I might add a little bit of snow to like the armor and stuff, make it look like he's been riding in the snow. But I'm not gonna do that on stream because it's gonna take time. This has got to dry and everything. Alright, I think I'm going to end the stream here because this part is going to take a little while. Let me just real quick, I'm going to open this up just to see what the snow texture looks like. Ooh, yes. See how chunky it is? So that should just dry. I'm just going to put some on here. Feels almost like it's like paint, like acrylic paint with sand in it. That's what it feels like. But yeah, that should make it look like plushy snow. And then I'll probably put a little bit on top of the orc itself to again make it look like he's been riding through the snow. Alright, I'll post pictures up on the Discord and probably the communities post, so if you want to see it afterward, keep an eye out for that. I'll see you guys later.